Hello everybody, welcome to GIS Pathshala Social Science History. Our chapter is about tribal discourse and the vision of a golden age. Our topic is about tribals, discourse and the vision of golden age. Discourse means, as I told you, that the outsider, how they affected the life of the tribal people. See now, after that, how did colonial rule affect tribal lives? Colonial rule means Britishers were here in India and they were ruling India. So it is counted as the colonial rule because was considered as one of the British colony. So the colonial rule of Britishers, how it affect the life of the tribal people, that we are going to see. Now what happened to the tribal lives? What happens to the tribal chiefs? In the life, see, you have seen how the chiefs were working in the tribal societies, how they were living. Some are gathering the food product, some are gathering the forest products, some are doing the cultivation, and like that. Before the arrival of the British, in many areas the tribal chiefs were important people. They enjoyed a certain amount of economic power and had the right to administer the control their territories. As you've seen in many films also, you have read also that the in tribal society one chief person was there. Always in tribal society one chief person is there and he is commanding all the people. So like that the chiefs were enjoying certain amount of economic power also and had the right to administer and control their territories. In some places they had their own police and decided on the local rulers of land and forest management. See, some of them are having their own police and they are deciding on the local rules and the forest management. They are having the control of local rules and management also. Under the British rule, the function and power of the tribal chiefs changed considerably. See, as such, Britishers want the power only. So they are always in the thinking that how should we take the power of this person or the head of this society or in this region, we should take the power. Always they were thinking like that. They were allowed to keep their titles over a cluster of villages and rent out lands, but they lost much of their administrative powers. They were allowed to keep their lands and little over a cluster of village. Cluster of village means some of the villages together, that is counted as a cluster of village. So they were allowed to keep their land and little over the cluster of villages, rent out lands, but they lost their administrative powers. Administrative powers were taken by the Britishers and were forced to follow laws made by the British officers in India. And made to follow the laws by the British officers in India. They also had to pay a tribute to British and discipline the tribal groups on behalf of the British. They lost the authority they had earlier enjoyed among their people and were unable to fulfill their traditional functions. See, उनके पास जो authority थी, that authority they lost to enjoy among their people and were unable to fulfill the traditional functions, and they can't fulfill their traditional functions. Now what happened to the shifting cultivators? Now shifting cultivators, what happened? See, were losing their powers. Chiefs were losing their powers. They had little bit power, but administrative powers were taken by the Britishers. Because of that, the chief lost their control over some dignity over the society, its own society, and they cannot fulfill their traditional functions. Now, what happened to the shifting cultivators? The British were uncomfortable with the groups who moved about and did not have a fixed home. They wanted tribal groups to settle down and become peasant cultivators. See, now Britisher wanted the tribal groups to settle at one place and do the cultivation. Settled peasants were easier to control and administer than people who were always on the move. The Britishers also wanted a revenue source for the state, so they introduced land settlements. That is, they measured land and fixed the revenue demand for the state. This you have seen in the previous lesson also. Britishers wanted a revenue source because if the people are moving from one place to another place, no fixed place was there. So Britishers wanted that they should have the fixed place, and because of the fixed place, Britishers can collect the revenue. Some peasants were declared landlords, other tenants. Tenants were to pay rent to landowners who in turn paid revenue to the state. See, like the peasants were there declared, and some peasants were declared landlords, and others were tenants, means those who are doing the cultivation work, and they have to pay the rent to the landowners, and the landowner is paying in the state, means to the British officer. The British effort to settle Jhum cultivators was not very successful, but the Jhum cultivators to be settled one side is not easy, because in some of the place the cultivation is not proper, they were not getting any proper crop or anything, and then they have to suffer. Settle plow cultivation is not easy in areas where water is scarce and the soil is dry. See, in some of the areas it is not possible. In fact, Jhum cultivators who took to plow cultivation often suffered, since their fields did not produce good yields. Good yields means अच्छी क्वालिटी का प्रोडक्शन नहीं हो सकता था, और they have to suffer. So the Jhum cultivators in northeast India insisted on continues with their traditional practice. So they were happy in their traditional practice, and they told that we were not ready, not northeast India, they were not ready for the settlement. Facing widespread protests, the British had ultimately allowed them to right to carry on shifting cultivation in some part of the forest. See, now they all protest. सभी ने उनके सामने आवाज उठाई. So Britishers facing many protests. So now Britishers ultimately Britishers allowed them to carry on shifting cultivation in some part of the forest. Now forest laws and their impact. Now forest laws were made. Previously no laws were there. They were roaming here and there. They were doing easily, peacefully, and enjoying their work and life. But now what happened? The British extended their control over all forest and declared that forest was state property. Now British are told that this is an okay natural thing, but this is the property of the state. Some of the forests were classified as reserved forest they produce timber which the British wanted. Some forests were declared reserve because in those forests timber was produced that Britishers wanted. In these forests, people were not allowed to move freely, practice Jhum cultivation, collect food, or hunt animals. See, all the basic tribal activities were protested in this area, prohibited in this area, where the reserved area forests were made by the Britishers. Some forest areas were reserved forests for the Britishers, and in those forest areas, reserved forests, these tribal groups did not do their tribal practices of Jhum cultivation, collecting fruits, hunting, movement of free movement, anything they were not allowed to do. Many were therefore forced to move to another areas in search of work and livelihood. Because of that, many of them are forced to go to another area because they need work and the basic things to live. But once the British stopped the tribals from living inside the forest, they faced problem. See, as such, tribals were habitual of forest life only, and Britishers were stopping, so they faced many problems. From where would the forest department get its labor to cut trees? Now see, tribals were those people, those who were knowing proper things of forests. So they were helpful, but Britishers stopped them, so they were going in the other areas, in the small towns, and they were doing some other work. But now, because of all the tribals were moving away from the forest, Britishers were in tense position. What happened? From where would the forest department get its labor to cut trees for railway sleepers and transport logs? See, now for the railway sleeper, in those days, for the railway sleepers, means the in between the two railway track, the one track is one, this panel is there, that is the railway track, sleepers of the railway track. To make those sleepers of the railway track, they were making from the wood. Previously it was made by wood only, and those wood they are cutting the trees, then they were getting. So for the labor work, the tribal people only can do the labor work of the forest. So how they will get the persons for that? Colonial officers came up with a solution. So again the colonial officers means British officers came up with a solution. They decided that they would give Jhum cultivators some patches of the land in the forest and allow them to cultivate this on the condition that those who lived in the villages would have to provide labor to the forest department and look after the forest. Now what Britishers do? Britishers decided to give some of the part of the forest to the jhum cultivators, and giving them part in return, Britishers told that you have to work in the forest department and look after the tree. You have to provide the labor to the forest department and you have to look after the forest. So in many regions, the forest department established forest villages to ensure a regular supply of cheap labor. In forest, in the Britishers were getting the cheap labor. They were supplying the cheap labor. They were getting the labor in a very cheap rate. So like that, forest department established forest village. Village means Britishers allowed the jhum cultivators to live in the forest area. They can do their cultivation also, and in return they have to they have to provide the labors and look after the forest department of the Britishers. Many reacted against the colonial forest law. They disobeyed the new rules, continued with practice that were declared illegal, and at time rose in open rebellion. See, many were against because very low rate they were giving the labor work. They were doing the labor work, but they were getting very low rate and the exploitation was there. So all are against, and they were doing their own practices that was declared illegal by the officers, Britishers, and at time rose in open rebellion. The revolt of Songram in Sangam in 1906 in Assam and the forest satyagraha of the 1930s in the central provinces are the example of this type of rebellions. After this, the search for work. The plight of the tribals who had to go far away for their homes in search of work was even worse. From the late 19th century, tea plantations started coming up and mining became an important industry. See, now the mining also became important industry. Tribals were recruited in large numbers to work in the tea plantation of Assam and the coal mines in Jharkhand. See, tribals were recruited in large numbers to work in the tea plantation in Assam and the coal mines in Jharkhand. They were recruited through contractors who paid them miserably low wages. See, contractors were there. Contractors were talking with the Britishers that I will provide you 20 labor. And the contractor was taking money from the British officer and he is paying to the laborers, but he was paying very less amount to the laborers. They were recruited through contractors who paid them miserably low wages and prevented them from returning home. The those who were working as a labor in this tree plantation and Jharkhand mines, they were getting very low wage also and they were not allowed to go to their home also. In the 18th century, Indian silk was in demand in Europe market. The fine quality of Indian silk was highly valued and exported from India increased rapidly. See, now the demand for Indian silk was also there. As the market expanded, East India Company officials tried to encourage silk production. Now market expanded, more demand was there, so more production Britishers has to do. So they were encouraging the silk production also. Hazaribagh in present day in Jharkhand was an area where the Santals reared cocoons. See, silk we were getting from the silk ones and silkworms, and the Santals tribes were rearing the cocoons. The traders dealing in silk sent in their agents who gave loans to the tribal people and collected the cocoons. The growers were paid rupees 3 to rupees 4 for 1,000 cocoons. These were then exported to Burdwan or Gaya, where they were sold at 5 times the price. See, from the tribal people, they were taking at very low rate. They were giving very low rate to the tribal people and selling to other places for the production in a very high rate. The middlemen, so called because they arranged deals between exporters and silk growers, made huge profit. One middleman is there who is taking the cocoons from the tribal people and giving to the silk grower who was growing the silk. In the middleman was there and the middleman was earning much more amount because he is paying very less to the tribal people and taking much more from the silk growers. So the middle person was getting the much more amount. The silk grower earned very little. Silk growers were also earning very less. Understandably, many tribal groups saw the market and the traders as their main enemies. So the tribal groups was seeing the market and the traders as their enemies. In a close look, what happened because of all these things, through the 19th and 12th century, 19th and 20th centuries, tribal groups in different parts, so the country rebelled against the changes in the laws, restrictions on their practices, the new taxes and they had to pay, and the exploitation by the traders and money lenders. See, which are the things change in the laws, restriction on their practices. Their traditional practices were restricted, new taxes they had to pay, exploitation by the traders and money lenders, all things were there. Coles rebelled in 1831, Santals rose in revolt in 1855, and Bastar rebellion in central India broke out in 1910, and Warli revolt in Maharashtra in 1940. The movement that Birsa led was one of such movement. Birsa also led such type of one movement. About Birsa Munda, how he did and what he did, that we will see in our next video lecture. In this lecture, we have seen how because of the British rule, how the tribal people faces problems. And Britishers were also facing problem in changing some of the things. So that their life become unstable. Whatever they were doing in traditional way, they were not able to live in the forest also, and they cannot settle properly in the cities also, and they were suffering and exploited by other and colonial peoples from all the sides. Now see what Birsa Munda did, that we will see in our next video lecture. Thank you.